What's going on, guys? We're back with another. I promise. Well, we do that. What's up, guys? We're here sparring sessions. UFC 322. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. You know how we do it here. Um, Took a few weeks off consciously. We didn't just not record. We didn't forget. We looked at the UFC. What was that piece of shit last week? Who main evented? Uh, Steve Garcia and David Onama, and this
It was optimal
the
for our
awful.
mental health weeks.
These two Apex cards. If they never had an Apex card again, I would kiss Dana. You know what? I actually might kiss Dana regardless. But we are here to break down
There you
UFC
go.
322. Um, okay, I'm gonna ask for instead of we normally rank these. This is a phenomenal card. I think we can all agree. I want you guys to rank this. In terms of best card of the year, I don't expect you to have it on hand, but is there a pay-per-view or a fight card that you can think of that tops this? Or even main event, can you think of a fight that you were more excited for than this main event? And if so, that can't be a long list. Co-host, you know what? We'll go with Big Will first.
I think looking at this card, what's like 13 fights deep, and I think
Yep.
almost maybe 10 or 11 of these fights could honestly be like Apex main events, like 10 or 11 of them. Honestly, like I wouldn't be surprised at the least. Maybe excluding like the first two fights with Wellmaker and Mariscal, but I think everything else, man, if they threw that shit on an Apex main event, man, I would not be surprised. Uh, you know, at all. So, man, I think this is a really strong card. I'm gonna give it a nine. It's just,
Nine. Wow.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I think it's just top to bottom. It's strong. I think name value. You look at almost every fight and you go, wow, I know that guy, and and
Hmm.
I know who they're fighting. So, um, yeah, I think there's a good mix of people that are from the area. I think that's always a good thing, because you get that mix of Jersey, Philly, New York, and
Oh yeah.
MSG. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this one.
I think besides one fight, and I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they did this, besides one fight, every fight has somebody who could reasonably headline a UFC Apex card. I would not be shocked. Or I
Yeah.
would not be upset. Jeannie, how about you? Let's hear your thoughts.
I do think this is one of the more strong pay-per-view cards of the year. I think UFC 317 kind of stacks up to it. The Ilia Topuria
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira
Yep.
card was pretty good as well. Um, Maybe I was pretty excited for the Diego Lopez Gene Silva fight when that was coming up, but this is
Yeah.
definitely trumping
Okay.
that in terms of
Interesting.
excitement. Just because the stakes of this fight, the main event, are very very high. So I'm very excited to see what happens in this main event. There's a lot of talk about
Oh,
Makachev steamrolling JDM, but I think JDM's size could give him some issues. I'm very excited to see what happens in that one. So
I
on a scale of 10, I'd say this one is probably like a solid 8.5, close to a
eight and a
9.
half. I'm giving this an A, honestly. And maybe, in 2016 this wouldn't be the best card of the year, but I think this is top three cards of the year, easy. Top two. And you could argue number one. Um, let's get right into it. I'm pumped. This first fight of the night, well, we already know who Will's picking, but Chepe Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini, men's 145 pounds. Machine Gun we'll start with. Actually, Will, I know you are a big Chepe fan, so um, this must be a tough one for you. Chepe is on oh, geez, what are we at here? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 fight win streak. Five of those in the UFC. Defeated the GOAT, Trevor Peek. Um, on the other side, Pat Sabatini, robbed. We were there for that. We were there for
Fair.
that fight, actually. Pat
I was
Sabatini,
actually on the same plane as Chepe, back to Philly.
no way.
I landed in Philly and I was walking to baggage claim and there's Chepe Mariscal. I'm like, what the? I was like, what the hell?
Oh shit.
Apparently his kid lives in the area. So
I
yeah,
would have. I thought you would have seen Pat Sabatini, but
yeah,
who
man,
knows?
that's funny.
Sabatini himself is on a 2 fight winning streak and a bunch of grappling fights in there, CFFC grappling. Um, Brito was his most recent win in April. It's funny. He just beat Richie Lewis by fleeing the mat, is what it says on Tapology. I thought that one was funny.
That boy's running away.
uh, these guys are pretty much the same height, same reach for the most part. 2 years separates them, so um, Will, let's get this out of the way. Tell us why you're picking Pat Sabatini.
Because he lives about a half hour from me. No, but I think Pat is a really gifted grappler, man, and I don't think we've seen uh, Chepe tested in the grappling area in at this level. Um, that's if Chepe doesn't catch him on the feet early, which is, a possibility, but I think Pat is very mindful of that these days. So,
Mhm.
Pat's lost to really good guys, bar Damon Jackson, but um, yeah, give me Pat Sabatini here. I think he's going to test Chepe in a way that he hasn't been since joining the UFC. Um, so give me Pat Sabatini by submission, mid to late in the fight. I think you'll have to work for it. I think you'll really have to work and wear down Chepe. But Chepe has a gas tank, man, and he can just go. He can just go, 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 go. But when you're tested in the grappling area, that power bar is different. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm going with my guy Pat here.
Gotcha. I should mention Hickam odds for the most part. You can get each guy at a favorite different place, but we'll call him Pick'em. Genie, uh, no bias, no admitted bias for you. Are you in agreement with Will? Or are you going machine gun?
Go with Chepe Mariscal, to be honest with you. I think his grappling's been tested a little bit. He stopped 4 takedowns from Morgan Charrier, Damon Jackson. He stopped 3 from Ricardo Ramos. He stopped Jack Jenkins' takedown attempt. Like I feel like at a certain point, you just got to accept this dude's got a 73% takedown defense, and
Yeah.
he's not getting controlled on the mat. He's just a bulldog on the feet, and his leg kicks are very strong. I like his striking, and I think he's gonna win this fight by decision over Pat Sabatini, most likely.
It's funny. This is actually a rematch. A 2018 Victory FC 60. Pat Sabatini won by split decision. If I remember correctly, it's been a few years. I went back and watched that fight. I thought Pat or Chepe won, but it's going to be interesting to see how the grappling holds up. I think that's the big question that you guys both said it. Um, he he has lost by Chepe has lost by grappling before. A long time ago though. Like Bryce Mitchell took him down a bunch, Gregor Gillespie took him down a bunch on the regional scene, but he hasn't really been taken down in the UFC. Um,
Yeah,
so I
if I remember correctly, he got put into some bad positions by Damon Jackson a few times, even though he was beating the shit out of him. Like, if I
yeah,
remember correctly, Damon put him in some bad positions here and there. Maybe not for extended periods of times, but I think if Pat's able to do that to you, he can wrap something up. Hoping.
listen, Damon had 4 minutes and 18 seconds of control time in that fight.
Yeah.
Compared to 8 minutes for Chepe. I'm going with Chepe though. I think he has a bit of momentum. Um, I like both of these guys. I'll be honest, I don't really know who wins this fight. They're both dogs. Either way, it's going to be an exciting fight. I think we can all agree on that. Um, Next up, men's 135. Talk about exciting. Malcolm Wellmaker fighting out of right here, Atlanta, Georgia. He was the hero of UFC Atlanta, the last good fight before some of the worst fights I've ever seen live or on TV. He's coming off that KO of Chris back in June. On the other side, Cody Haddon, 1-0 in the UFC. He beat Dan Argueta. That sucks. I had done my research for who's the other Cody, the teammate of Volk's teammate. What's his name? I
Cody.
forget his name.
I know.
Either way, I'd written down that Cody when I did my research, and anyway, Cody Haddon, Dan Argueta win back in October 2024, so set out for about a year. Wellmaker's going to have 2 inches of reach, 3 inches of height. He's going to be 4 years older, and he is going to be the big favorite. I don't actually have odds. I'd seen him at minus 300 few days ago, so we'll go with minus 300. Um, This one, let's give it to Genie. Are you going with the machine, or the Aussie in this fight?
Now, I think something's to be said about Cody Haddon being a little underrated on the betting odds here, and he had a
Yeah.
good showing out in his first two fights. Like, Billy Brand on the Contender Series, and then he beat Dan Argueta, right? So Dan Argueta is not a chump, and he beat him pretty convincingly in that fight. But Malcolm
Yeah.
Wellmaker most likely is gonna get it done. This might be a brutal one. I don't know. I think Malcolm it might be. I think it's gonna be later on in the fight. I don't think it's gonna be a steamrolling like round one knockout type thing. I think Cody Haddon
No.
has a bit more to bring into this fight than that. But I think Malcolm
Okay.
Wellmaker does probably get the KO victory in the second or third round. It's probably where I'm going
Interesting.
here.
Yeah, I'm going Wellmaker. I think Haddon is good, but he got lit up a few times on the feet by Dan Argueta. And he doesn't really have a win that I would consider um, good enough to kind of make me want to pick him over Wellmaker, 3 knockouts in a row. So give me Wellmaker. Maybe I'm a little biased too, Atlanta native, or he's from Augusta, actually, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
Augusta. So it's about an hour and a half away. Call it Georgia. Call it Georgia. Yeah, I'm going Wellmaker, KO. You know what? I'm gonna call round one, Jeannie. I'm gonna call round one. 3 in a row, make it four. Will, you differing here?
I think this is a step up for both guys. It's a really good fight, I think. Hadden getting beat by Urseg isn't, I guess, the worst loss in the world, but 125er. Um, I think Wellmaker's just got that death touch, man, especially at 135. You got
Yeah.
to capitalize that. Wellmaker's a little older than you might want him to be. What is he like? How old is he?
31.
31. Yeah, he's a little older than maybe you would imagine it would be. Because like you could tell me he was 24, I'd believe you. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I think he's coming into his own. I think he's riding high, and I'm gonna go with Wellmaker as well. I'm not really sure exactly, but not exactly how he's gonna win. But yeah, give me Wellmaker here. I do think it's gonna be competitive until it isn't. But yeah,
Yeah.
go give me Malcolm.
Love it. Next up, men's 185. I guess there's never been a women's 185. That'd be interesting, though. I would watch that fight. Gregory Robocop Rodriguez versus Roman Kopylov. Gregory Rodriguez, RoboCop, we love him. He is on a 1 fight winning streak only. Before that, he was on a 3 fight winning streak. KO'd Jack Hermanson back in on that 317 card. Brutal knockout. That one was pretty bad. I think it was the worst until that main event. But he is fighting Roman Kopylov coming off that. Is it safe to say that win to loss to Paulo Costa was embarrassing? Was that an
Yeah,
embarrassment to lose to Paulo
I
Costa
think
in
so.
2025?
I
I think
called
it
it. I
was.
called it,
It's
man.
You did call
People
it.
forget. People
It's
forget,
still
man.
embarrassing though. In the year of our Lord 2025, Gregory Rodriguez is going to have 3 inches of height, no inch of reach though. Identical reach. Surprisingly, Roman Kopylov is a year older. You wouldn't be able to tell that looking at them. Minus 140 for the GOAT, plus 120 for Roman Kopylov on the other side. And this one is back to me. I'm going to go Gregory Rodriguez here. I'm biased. I don't care. Listen, we've met him, he's got to be twice now, Will, I think. Taken a photo a few times.
Something like that.
Love the
Yeah.
guy. He's a nice guy. He's a killer. Who comes into the UFC with a um uh, how many times Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion is he? 6, 7 times or something like that, and
Something
then
something
be
nuts.
becomes a striker. Uh, I think he can win on the feet. He's got the power advantage, in my opinion, and anytime he wants, he can just toss him over his hip, sub him in 20 seconds. Um, yeah, give me RoboCop in this one. Let's go over to Will. I'm guessing you're not different much from me here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with RoboCop here. I think if RoboCop came out into the media and was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna come out and shoot in the first 20 seconds," like I think the lines would be like minus 300.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't really know what RoboCop's gonna do. He could definitely win on the feet, but if he takes it to the ground, there's no chance Kopylov wins. If
Yeah,
RoboCop shoots a double leg early and makes him work, it's he's gonna zap his power bar and just he's gonna go downhill from there.
yeah.
Give me RoboCop. Yeah, man, I think he has all the tools to win here. It just depends on how I puts them together. So, give me old Greg by finish.
Mr. Obama, are you going with the former president of the United States of America, Jeannie?
I think I've got to go with Gregory Rodriguez. Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
definitely has the power advantage. You know, Paulo Costa was lighting up Kopylov on the feet, and Kopylov almost looked scared to engage at moments. And
brutal.
yeah, Rodriguez, that Chris Curtis fight, not Chris Curtis, but Jared Cannonier, that was a very dominant fight for Gregory Rodriguez, despite him getting knocked out in it. He kind of
Oh,
had like an adrenaline dump after he nearly got a round one knockout over Jared Cannonier. Had the dude on skates.
He dropped him
Um,
like 3 times in the first round, man.
yeah,
yeah,
that was crazy.
he could have got it done. You know, if it was another referee, that might have stopped the fight too. Like it was a very close to being finished, and
Yeah.
he came back and got an immediate KO over Jack Hermanson in the next fight. You know, I could see him finishing Romy Kopylov. I could see him taking him down. I'll say Gregory Rodriguez wins the fight by decision, though.
A decision, interesting. Okay. Um, Next up, sticking with 185, Bo Nickel and Rodolfo Vieira. Bo Nickel, a
Show
pretty
those
sizable
prelims.
favorite now.
Show those
Shout
prelims.
out. Minus 235 for Bo Nickel, plus 180 for Rodolfo Vieira. The black belt hunter, Vieira, uh, 36 years old. He's 7 years older than Bo Nickel. Uh, Bo's going to have an inch of height and 3 inches of reach. Vieira's on a one-fight winning streak, defeating the GOAT, Trayshawn Gore. Before that, he got boxed up pretty bad by Andre Petrosky. On the other side, Bo Nickel, he was 7-0, and now he's 7-1. RDR took his O, maybe took his soul. We'll have to see. Um, Last fight out. So yeah, kind of a weird one. Uh, we'll go with you. I forget the order, but you got the um, potentially soulless Bo Nickel or the black belt hunter in this one.
I've got no clue, honestly. Zero idea who's gonna win this fight. What are the odds on this?
Minus 235 for Bo Nickel, plus 180 for Vieira.
That just doesn't seem kosher to me. I don't know. Part of me wants to pick Rodolfo Vieira, but I think Bo might just have this be another Paul Craig fight where he shows his stand up
Yeah,
because I mean I feel like if he was scared of not scared, but if he wanted to avoid Paul Craig's jiu-jitsu, maybe dude, he could flip the switch and be like, no, I don't want to do that now. Now I'm gonna go to the ground with this guy that's probably a lot better than Paul Craig at jiu-jitsu. Um, and then that could be his downfall. I have no idea where Bo Nickel is after a big loss against Rene de Ritter like that. If a guy that can get broke like RDR breaks you, then that doesn't look great. I
no,
don't
it
know.
doesn't.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Give me Bo
You
Nickel.
you once told me. All right, go ahead. You
Give
once
me.
told me, well,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you once told me if you have no idea who to pick the dog. I might have
You
to
know
say that to
what?
you back right now.
Oh, you know what? Put that on the wall somewhere. Give me Rodolfo Vieira.
Jeannie,
Um,
you taking the same mantra here?
It's just not gonna happen, guys, and I'm sorry to tell you, it's just not gonna happen. Bo Nickel's gonna win this one. You got Rodolfo Vieira going 0 for 20 on takedowns in some of these fights, guys, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got a on paper 100% takedown defense, but that's because half of these guys
On
are
paper.
scared to try to take him down. You know, like there's fights where he's getting zero takedown attempts from some of these guys. They're just staying on the feet with him, and he's able to win by doing the bare minimum more. I feel like Bo Nickel is going to be able to win against Rodolfo Vieira. You know, I don't think this guy's got the same threat on the feet as Reiner de Ritter does to land that wonky body knee. I don't think
Yeah.
that's going to happen. Bo Nickel could keep it on the feet all 3 rounds and win with that fucking meaty overhand he beat Paul Craig with. Or if it's going to the mat, I just see Bo Nickel being too physical, and if anyone's getting a takedown, Rodolfo Vieira's going 0 for 20 against fucking Chris Curtis. Like, that's crazy. He's going 1 for 14 against
Chris Curtis, legendary takedown defense. Chris Curtis, I will say that.
We'll say this. Listening to this, Bo Nickel got swept by RDR like pretty soundly on the ground. I think if RDR could do that, Vieira could do that. Like,
listen. There's something you guys are forgetting. Andre Petrosky boxed up Rodolfo Vieira. Okay.
Yeah.
Rodolfo, we love Andre Petrosky on this show. We can all admit. I think he admitted in his interview as well. He's definitely not he's definitely still developing on the feet, you know. And if he boxed up Rodolfo Vieira went 0 for, what'd you say, Jeannie? He went 0 for 20?
0 for 20 against Chris Curtis.
Against Chris Curtis, I think he went 1 for 11 against Andre Petrosky. I think Bo Nickel can do everything Andre Petrosky did and more. This is going to look exactly like the Paul Craig fight, which kind of looked exactly like the Vieira-Petrosky fight. Bo Nickel all the way here, although it's going to be pretty boring.
I agree.
And I'm going to move us up to another 185 fight. Honestly, I could see the winner. I could see Bo Nickel fighting the winner of either this fight or the fight we talked about earlier between Rodriguez and Kopylov. Maybe this kind of a sweepstakes kind of thing.
I have breaking news. Kennedy and Nzechukwu versus Marcus Buchecha.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Might be a little early on that one, Will. I'm sorry. Nuts is the
I'm sorry, I thought
nuts
that'd be
is
so
the word
much
I
funny.
use. That is going to be a fight, one of the worst fights of all time, potentially. Yes.
Carry on.
Gerald Mearshart is fighting Kyle Dawkins. Two of Will's favorites, I believe, right? You're a big fan of both of these guys?
I'd say so, yeah.
GM3 is a plus 200 underdog, minus 275 for the Darce Knight, Kyle Dawkins. That's a new nickname, I think. He was something else beforehand in his first stint in the UFC. Dawkins is going to have 2 inches of height, but Mearshart is going to have an inch and a height of reach, inch and a half of reach. Mearshart's also going to be 5 years older. He is coming off 3 losses in a row. Most recently to Makhachev in August. On the other side, Dawkins made his short notice, I believe, re-debut to the UFC, beating Michel Pereira in 43 seconds. Overhand right to ground strikes. The odds, minus 275, I already said that. Jeannie, I believe this is you. What do you got for me here?
All right. I got
the cough. That's what you got for me.
Yeah, sorry. I got Kyle Dawkins winning this one. I just think Gerald Mearshart's last fight was not a great showing by him. You know, Oleg Jakchik beat him up in that first round, dropped him, and just finished him with some ground strikes, if I remember correctly.
Forget, man, bad stoppage.
You think so? I don't know, man. I think Kyle Dawkins is going to do the same thing. I could see Kyle Dawkins coming out and just getting like under a minute knockout. Like this could be a freaky fast finish they like to do. You know, there's going to be showing that replay on the screen. I do see Kyle Dawkins winning this in the first round. If Gerald Mearshart drags it to deep waters, that could be interesting. But Kyle Dawkins looks different on this second stint in the UFC. I think he's going to go on a run. I think he's going to finish at least a few fights. I think he's going to finish Gerald Mearshart in the first round. KO. Yeah.
I'm picking Dawkins as well. I don't think it's going to be that quick and easy. Mearshart is this kind of guy where if you don't knock him out super early, the fight's just going to be super weird. He doesn't have. It's either weird decision or round 1 loss, or you get a weird one like the Edmund or the Brian Barberina. I think Dawkins is we're going to see some kooky grappling, some awful striking. I'm going Dawkins late round 2 knockout. Yeah, Will, got to be a tough one for you. Got to be a
Very
tough
tough.
one. Let's hear it.
Uh, because it's a weird matchup on paper, just like even it's a very
Yeah.
strange fight. Because we haven't really known Dawkins as a knockout guy, but coming into the UFC and catching Pereira like that is pretty impressive. But it's not
Yeah.
what we know him for. Meerschaert's been submitted sometimes, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dawkins welcomes the grappling and we get some fun grappling exchanges. I don't think this is something where Dawkins is like, oh, I'm gonna keep this on the feet. Like I think they're both gonna welcome grappling, clearly on Gerald's side, but um, it's a really tough fight for me. Do I think it should be lined a little bit closer? Probably. They're not doing Gerald any favors, but UFC might be like, all right, Gerald, we're gonna give you a favor now, and give him because even with the fight loss here, I don't think they're gonna cut Gerald. He's been around way too long, and this is pretty consistent for him in terms of losses and wins and losses and all that good stuff. So, give me Dawkins here. I'm not gonna go for a knockout. I think he's gonna get a submission at some point. I think they're gonna welcome the
Okay.
grappling. We've seen Gerald submitted just because he's always lied to welcome the grappling, and once you know what I mean. So he's
You
got
could say
what?
that.
He's got 29 wins by submission and 9 losses by submission. So I mean, it's like that's a lot. So yeah, give me Dawkins by submission here. It does hurt me to say that. Um, I love my Gerald Meerschaert picks. I don't think I've ever picked against Gerald, to be quite honest. Maybe against like Pfeiffer or something like that. But
Yeah, I was gonna say
um,
he's fought so many guys that
dude,
he's eventually fought one of
he's
your.
so yeah, he's so freaking active, man, that he can just go on these runs that are for better or for worse at
Oh my God.
any year. He'll go and win 4 in a row, 3 in a row, then he'll lose 2 in a row, 3 in a row. Like it's
Oh
just
yeah.
who he is, which is fine. But yeah, give me Dawkins here by submission.
Yeah. It's funny. He also does a bunch of grappling, Mearshart. Hey, I didn't realize this. So he lost to Joe Piper. He got KO'd in 2023, right?
Yeah.
And then and then they're like, "Oh, we didn't see enough." And they matched him up in grappling like a month later. Oh, that was funny. All right. Well, should be a fun fight. Either way, any way it happens. Next up, Fatima Klein versus Angela Hill. The Archangel, Fatima Klein, is a huge favorite. I got her at minus 440 against Angela Overkill Hill plus 310. Uh, Angela Hill is 40 years old. Fatima Klein is 25. So one of those, you know, prospect. This is a true prospect versus vet matchup if I've ever seen one. Um, Angela Hill is coming off a UD loss to Yasmin Lucindo in August. Kind of alternated wins and losses before that. She's been around forever. Klein is 2-0 on a sorry, 2-1 in the UFC on a 2-fight winning streak. Tough debut to Jasmine, just vicious, but since coming down to strawweight, right back, two KOs, one on the ground, one a pretty nice head kick knockout. Um, Klein is going to have 2.5 inches of reach, 3 inches of height, like I mentioned, 15 years younger. I'm kicking this one off. I really, really, really thought about an Angela Hill pick here. These odds are nuts. For somebody as I know Will's picking Angela Hill, so don't even need to. Sorry to spoil it. But yeah, Fatima Klein, takedown machine, trains with Aaron Blanchfield up in, is that Jersey or New York? I think it's right on the border, right?
I think it's both. I think they cross train. It's honestly.
Yeah, up in that area, tri-state area, we'll call it. And Angie has a 74% takedown defense, despite fighting some great grapplers. Mackenzie Dern, Tabitha Ricci, plenty of champs, plenty of up and comers, and despite all that, I think the hands of Fatima Klein just put it over a little bit for me, and I'm going to pick her. But I thought this was going to be like a minus 180 maybe minus 200 the most. These odds are nuts, though. And Will, tell me all about it.
I think on Angela Hill, she's 3-2 in her last five, which isn't anything, to, you know, be too mad at. But her last fight,
Definitely
man,
not.
I think it was super close. I think Angela could have won those first two rounds. She really dropped the ball in the third. Her cardio looked like it failed her a bit, but man, I'm always picking Angela Hill, man. But her last fight, it looked like that her age was catching up to her a little bit. Uh, and I don't really like that. But we haven't really seen Fatima Klein tested much. Um, her last fight went late. We were or I was
Yeah.
there for that. I
Oh,
think
really?
yeah, the head kick thing that was in Nashville, wasn't it?
Was it in Nashville? I thought
I'm,
that was.
I could be
I'll
very
find it.
wrong.
I'll find it.
I could be very
She
wrong,
beat
but
Melissa
Yeah,
Martinez
yeah,
down though. Like she beat her
yeah.
down. But
Nashville,
it was
Nashville.
yeah, yeah, I remember that. That was cool. But give me Klein here. It hurts me to say that.
Oh, wow.
I think the odds are ridiculous. If you know me, I'm always picking Angela Hill. Love Angela Hill. Um, but I would not be surprised if we see a split decision for Angela Hill in the slightest. Like, um, it seems like every other fight, she looks like she's the best she's ever looked, and then maybe she looks a little older. It's just I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of Angela Hill in this fight, but let's let's go with Klein by split decision.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next fight, middleweights. Oh,
skipped
wait, did we
over
skip
me.
you, Jeannie?
You
All
skipped
right.
over me.
I guess you get to
I
talk this
The
time. Yeah.
redheaded stepchild.
I'll be fast. I'll be fast, man. I'm going Fatima Klein. I think she's gonna box up Angela Hill on the feet, make her look her age, and I feel like if anyone's Fatima Klein's gonna be stopping the takedowns most likely. She might get taken down once or twice, but I think she's gonna do enough to win this fight by decision. Jasmine Jasudavicius took her down 4 times though in her debut, but I think Jasmine Jasudavicius her takedowns her ability to get them are a bit higher than Angela Hill's in 2025. So I'll say Fatima Klein wins this by decision.
All righty. Next up, for real this time, middleweights, Beisinger Shushakayev. Hunter's his nickname. I don't know if you guys saw it. Dana at the press conference for when he fought on Contender Series, he was like he couldn't say his name, so he just started calling him Jimmy. So I kind of like that. He's fighting Eric McConaughey. Shushakayev, if you remember, he was the guy on Contender Series, got that super quick knockout of Murtaza Talha, and then turned around in 4 days and fought Eric Nolan and submitted him in the second round. And now he's fighting again against Eric McConaughey, who just beat Cody Brundage on super short notice. I think they put that fight together in a week's notice, I think. And before that, lost to Nursultan Ruzaboyev. Jimmy is going to have 2 inches of height, 2 inches of reach, and he is your big favorite at. It's gone from the site I'm using, but I'd seen him places at minus 300, minus 400, you name it. Jeannie, this one's all you.
Yeah, I'm going Beisinger Sursurkayev here. He did have a questionable debut, like that fight in the UFC, the one 4 days after Contender Series.
Yeah.
It was a close, like not a close fight, but it took him a while to get that finish over Eric Nolan.
Give him a break. It was
Um,
4 days after he
4 days, yeah. Same weight class. They didn't even give him a like a catch weight or anything.
It's
hey
crazy.
man, I saw holes. I saw holes, man. Listen, I saw holes. He was showing
Where's
lots
Kevin
of
Lethan with all this?
lots of lots of bad stuff I was seeing in that fight, man. And I think Eric McConaughey could keep it close on the feet, but I think Beisinger Sursurkayev is going to find the finish. It's going to be a knockout in the first or second round. Is the pick here?
Okay. Yeah, I agree. McConaughey is not good. I do think Shishkayev is not with the right matchups. He could be top 15. I don't think he's like a future champ or anything. Um, but I mean, I guess we haven't seen enough of him. He's only 24, so I can't say Can't say for sure, but you know, I think he's great. I think if they give him a ton, what they're doing with Tebogatier, just giving him can after can after can that he's just going to destroy. Round one KO. If they do that with Sursurkayev, I think he could be better than Gautier. I think he could be a champ if they do that. I don't know if they're going to, especially they're going to Abu Dhabi and Qatar and the Middle East every 3 months or so, and he's going to be a guy who they could keep flying out there. We seem to like him some, but yeah, he's going to destroy Eric McConaughey. Will, any disagreements there?
I'm not going to take any longer on this fight. I think Susukaya is being set up to knock out Makhanako, so we'll go with that.
Yeah. Alrighty, next up, a rematch. I love this fight. I think this was second. No, this not. I didn't call this out, but I had thought about it. Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez, women's 125. Cold-blooded. Erin Blanchfield is -175, plus 140 on the side for Tracy Cortez. Blanchfield is 5 years younger at 26. She's going to have 2.5 inches of reach, but Tracy Cortez is going to have 1 inch of height. This is a rematch from, I believe it was LFA. Pretty bad robbery, in my opinion, and I don't think I saw a single person score Invicta, excuse me, score the fight for Cortez online. 5-rounder, or no, 3-rounder. And yeah, Blanchfield's coming off the win over Nami Yunus in last November, so she's been sitting out. Granted, she did have that weird Macy Barber, 10 minutes beforehand cancellation. On the other side, Tracy Cortez,
What a
1 fight win
disaster.
streak. That was horrible. Barber's booked again, but we'll see if that happens. She beat Viviane Araujo in June. This one is me. I love this fight. I think it's a great fight. They the UFC has no wrong answer. Whoever wins this fight, fans love Cortez. Blanchfield is somebody they can put some weight behind. She's very good. Um, she's a bit small in my opinion. I think she could win the belt, but I think she would have much more success. I don't know if she can cut to 115, but she just looks like a 115er in there to me. Despite that, all Erin Blanchfield here. I was shocked the number's so low. Um, her only loss is to Firo, who was just way bigger than her. Tracy Cortez isn't. Cortez got taken down a bunch by Rose. I think Rose had 6 minutes of control time, and Blanchfield also uh, has boxed up a few people enough to where I don't love her hands, but I think she can hang on the feet with Tracy. So give me Blanchfield here. Great fight though. Will?
No clue, man. This is gonna be a close fight, I think. Funny enough, I think I like Cortez's takedowns better than Blanchfield's takedowns just for the matchup.
Really?
Just for this
Okay.
matchup. I don't think in general.
Oh, okay.
Um, I think I think Cortez has the physicality about her that Blanchfield doesn't see much in the UFC or hasn't seen much in the UFC. Um, I don't know, man. This is a tough fight for me. This is a really tough fight for me, and I think I'm gonna go with what I said earlier. Or what you said earlier was when you have no idea, go with the dog. So give me Cortez by split decision here. Let's go with that.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's gonna be pissed off. This is also a lot of people don't know. This is gonna be Cortez's last fight with her head coach, Santino DeFranco or something like that from Fight Ready. He's not
Really?
coaching. He's not coaching anymore. His last two fights he's gonna do is Cejudo's next fight and Cortez's next fight, and then he's done at that. He doesn't want
Oh
to
well.
coach anymore. So I guess we'll see where she goes from there, but she'll still have like Eddie Cha and all those guys from Fight Ready.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's the gym. Yeah, but
Fight ready. Cejudo too is going to stop. He's going to retire soon, and he's coaching there
I don't
already,
know,
right?
man. I think they're gonna try to get three Olympic gold medalists on that White House card. They're gonna get
Oh God, we'll have to
Gable,
see. We'll have to see.
Kayla, and Cejudo. And
Didn't he
it would
say
make
his next
sense.
fight against Talbot was his last fight?
He said that for his last three fights.
No,
I guess so.
did he? He's close. I think we can all agree he's pretty close.
But
Um,
yeah, give me
yeah,
Cortez. Give me Cortez
interesting.
by split decision here.
But Genie, break the tie.
Yeah, I gotta go with Aaron Blanchfield here. I feel like her striking is pretty close with Tracy Cortez, but I feel like if she gets on the ground on top of Tracy Cortez, she's just gonna be much more dominant than Tracy Cortez on top of like if Tracy Cortez gets on top of Blanchfield. I see Blanchfield being able to stop the takedowns though. She's got a underrated takedown defense. Like the only Fiora was taking her down. Uh, I'm pretty sure, but 80% takedown defense is a pretty strong number, and I think she's going to be able to stop Tracy Cortez's takedowns if it comes to that. I think Blanchfield's going to do a bit more, and she's going to win this fight by decision.
Okay, I like it. Moving on. Welterweight. What do we think, boys? Title eliminator here between Sean Brady and Michael Morales?
Uh, who
Maybe.
know? Who knows? I think the entire 170 division is gonna get figured out this card. Thankfully. Um,
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, with what's his face? He's out for another year, right? Shavkat. So
yeah.
I think the next contender is probably going to come from this card, unless it's Ilya. I would hate if they did uh Ilya Islam. We'll talk about that
We
later.
also have Prates and Edwards too on the card.
Yeah.
So who knows?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, so Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Brady is your slight favorite. I got him at minus 130, plus 105 for Michael Morales on the other side. Um, Morales can have 2 inches of height and 7 inches of reach. Wow. He is 6 years younger than Sean Brady. Um, Brady is on a 3 fight winning streak. He just I'd say demolished Leon Edwards back in March. On the other side, Morales undefeated, 18-0. He is on a 18 fight winning streak, six in the UFC. He destroyed Gilbert Burns in his own main event back in May. Um, so yeah, Will, I'm going to say this one's you. Otherwise, if it's not, we're going to go with you either way.
Uh, I'm going Sean Brady here. You already knew that. I think he's the best
Yeah.
wrestler in the division. I think he's the best grappler in the division. Some people are gonna say, "Oh, but he lost to Bilal 3 years ago when Bilal was peaking." And he has, won the championship since then, and subsequently lost it to the guy in the main event. Big whoop-de-doo. But give me Sean Brady here, man. I think Morales is gonna be tested. For as long as that Gilbert Burns fight lasted, he did get taken down by Gilbert Burns pretty quickly. Pop back up, but it doesn't matter. He knocked him out pretty good. But I think we can all say Gilbert's probably he's probably not going to fight too much.
He's done.
Yeah. So I think Sean Brady's going to go to his bread and butter here and wash, rinse, and repeat. I think he has 17 takedowns in his last three fights, something like that. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's been tested there, man. And I think Morales, if I remember correctly, he's had some lackluster performances. Not as of late, but in the UFC, he's had
Yeah.
fights go long that probably shouldn't against guys like Jake Matthews, Max Griffin. He didn't knock out Fugit until the third round. Decision
Close
against
fights.
Nikolai Veretinikov, who's been seen to be a shitter. So I mean. I don't know. There's good things and bad things, but I mean he's knocking out like the washed guys of the gatekeepers like Burns and Magny. Like it's tough, man. I don't know what to make of it. He is very talented though. I will tell you that. He's got some nice striking. He seems very strong. He's also gigantic for the division. But I think Brady brings a physicality that he hasn't seen and a wrestling pedigree. And I think ever since that Bilal fight that he had where he, kind of shit the bed, early stoppage, but his wrestling and his grappling, I think, has been brought to another level since he lost to Bilal. So give me Sean Brady at a price that you probably won't see a lot in his career. So
Yeah, the odds are interesting. I didn't think they would be this close, I'll be honest. I mean, Brady's been I want to say he was a favorite in all of his fights. Oh, he was it? No. Yeah, all of his fights. Funny enough how that works. But yeah. Jeannie, you're up next.
I'm going with Michael Morales. I gotta go with Michael Morales here. He's massive compared to Sean Brady, a massive reach advantage of 6.5 inches. That's not something Sean Brady's used to. He's usually fighting dudes with a close reach compared to him. And Michael Morales is massive compared to him. And he's got a pretty good takedown defense. You know, like he's only getting taken down by Gilbert Burns and Trevin Giles in his UFC career, which I mean, Trevin Giles is not a good name, but most of the time he's not getting taken down. 90% takedown defense is nothing to just gloss over. And Sean Brady does have a very physical style. He might get a takedown or two here, but I think Michael Morales is going to be outlanding Sean Brady. And I think he's going to win this fight by decision. It's going to be a close
hey
fight.
buddy, 89% takedown
All
defense,
right,
okay?
89,
Let's
89. I'm rounding. I think Michael Morales takes this by decision, though.
I was looking at that number. It's a bit of a misnomer because not misnomer is the wrong word. It doesn't most of the takedowns that kind of play into the 89% were from his early fights. Max Griffin went over 8, Adam Fuga went 1 for 9, Giles went 1 for 4. So like he hasn't really people haven't really been trying to take him down recently. Gilbert Burns got him down once out of 2 attempts. That being said, I mean, I gotta go with Brady here. The grappling, the reach is a big thing, but I don't think that's going to matter as much. I don't think this fight's going to be on the feet for long. The jiu-jitsu of Sean Brady is just elite. Um, Michael Morales is great, and I think he's going to stick around the top 10 for a long time, but I think this is like the one. I think this is a nightmare matchup for him. And I got to go with Sean Brady. Also, I did a look back. The only fighter that has ever been favored against Sean Brady, Ismail Nardiev was a -140 favorite. I just thought that was hilarious.
hindsight,
Um,
baby.
Hindsight. Next up, Benio Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. Uh, Men's 155. Benny is his official nickname, which I think is funny. Benny Dariush is a +170 underdog. He's going to be 7 years older at 36. Benoit Saint Denis, BSD, God of War on the other side is going to have an inch of height, an inch of reach. Dariush is coming off a win over Renato Moicano back in June. BSD on a 2-fight winning streak. He just choked out Hoofy in Paris. That was the Paris main event, right? Am I tripping?
No, it wasn't the main event. It was the co-main.
Was it the co-main? What was the main event?
It was
Oh,
Imavov.
Imavov Baralho. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. This one's Genie. Genie, where are you going in this fight? Kind of a weird one.
I think I'm confident to pick Benoit Saint Denis again after
Yeah,
he beat Mauricio Ruffy. That one's, I don't know. Benil Dariush is kind of washed in my opinion. 36 years old. He did beat Renato Moicano. You know, he took Moicano off that, or I guess was Moicano even on a streak? That was after he fought Islam Makhachev, right?
This is a quick
yeah,
turnaround too for both of them, I think.
Yeah, it
yeah.
is a month.
Look,
Of, yeah, it's gonna be two months by
Quicker
fight time for
quicker
Benoit Saint Denis. Benil has definitely had a bit more time to prepare here. He's probably been in the gym, but you know, Benil Dariush, he does not have like he's not a 29-year-old. Benoit Saint Denis is going to be more physical. He's going to want this more, and he's at a stage in his career. This is going to be a 3-fight winning streak if he wins this. Put him close to that top 15 again. If for sure in the top 15 actually. This is going to put him close to the top 10 if he wins this one. But that's the spot that he wants. You know, he was close to breaking into that top 10 with the Dustin Poirier fight, but couldn't
Yeah.
get it done. Now he's taking it a bit slower. I think he's going to beat Beneil Dariush by knockout, I'm going to say, in the second round.
Let me ask you this before I go: is that a TKO or is that a ground and pound or is that a standing?
Ground and pound.
I think Beneil Dariush is going to win this fight. This is not a fight where I think BSD kind of has to get some takedowns if he wants to win. He has only really lost when his takedowns stopped working. Or, I mean, Moicano just kind of ran over him, you know? But he couldn't get takedowns really on Easy DS. He got him on Poirier, and then it just stopped working, and or he gassed out. And then Moicano just kind of ran over him. And I think Benny can do the same thing. I mean, people forget Gamrot, he kind of beat Gamrot's ass. Tony before that, Diego Ferreira when that was a good win. I guess it's still kind of it's still a good win, right? Less good now, but
Maybe if you're coming
Jakar
off a contender
Close.
series.
um, yeah, and then that Moicano fight, he looked great. I don't think, despite the hair, he's looked 70 since he was 20, but I think he can stop the takedowns and make it look a lot like the Gamrot fight here. So I'm going to go Benny by 29-28 decision. Will, you got a tiebreaker here.
Well, I cannot believe BSD is only 29 years old.
I know,
He's
right?
the oldest 29-year-old in ever, looks wise and damage taken wise, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy, I think Darius should probably do to get slept again.
You think?
I think so. Um, I don't really know if Darius is gonna do something like uh Ben or what the hell is this guy's
Army?
name? No, 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 no. Just Benil just beat him.
Renato Moicano? Money Moicano?
Yeah, yeah,
Rafi?
yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Moicano. I don't think he's gonna do something like Moicano did to Benoit. Uh, because I mean Benil's more of like a position over submission kind of guy, and he's okay with racking up control time and not doing insane amounts of damage. Um, but I think the guy that's going to be damaging, if anybody, is going to be damaging Dariush from Benoit Saint Denis. I think Benoit's probably going to find a TKO here, uh, rather than a submission that he's done his last two fights. But I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out like he's guns blazing. He does a really good Trevor Peek impression and just kind of puts him
Yeah.
away quick. Um, yeah,
Shout
give
out.
me Benoit by TKO.
Alrighty. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Next fight. Uh, Pretty good one, I'd say. Best non-title fight in my opinion. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Praches. The Nightmare. Carlos Praches minus 200 favorite over Leon Edwards. Rocky plus 160. Praches is 2 years younger. That kind of surprised me. I thought Leon would be a lot older than he is. Let's see, an inch of height for Leon, but 4 inches of reach for the Nightmare. Praches is coming off a brutal spinning back elbow knockout at UFC 319. Leon is on a two-fight losing streak. He just got, like we mentioned before, pretty badly choked out and dominated by Sean Brady. This one is me. Um, I mean, do I have to say my pick out loud? Can I just point to my shirt here? Where is he? Which one is he?
Fighting nerd shirt. That's
Is
pretty
he all the
cool.
way down here? Yeah,
Somewhere
he's down here.
he's somewhere on there.
Um, yeah, give me
His
practice here.
chest.
Oh yeah. Um, he is the better striker, definitely. He's the more active striker for sure. Better striker. Leon's kind of a pitter patter, distance, somewhat counter puncher. Um, and Leon, you got to question where the head's at too. I mean, you can't really. Yes, he got grappled for two fights in a row, but he did not look like himself in either fight. And then you go back and look before that, the Colby fight. I mean, was awful. horrible fight, but he didn't really do much. Like he should have put Colby away there, in my opinion. And you can kind of discount a few of his wins before that too. I mean, he's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong, but Praches is not the best fighter in the division. I think he loses a lot of fights, but they're kind of setting him up here. A guy who's going to stand on the feet with him for the most part. A guy who he can definitely overpower. He doesn't have to worry about cardio, gassing out here. So give me Praches. Round 2 knockout. Call it a straight left hand. Why not? Will, over to you.
Oh boy, I think Leon Edwards is going to be a super popular underdog from like the betting people
Really?
online. I think so. I think people that fight Leon Edwards on the feet, they get stuck in a very uh, what is it? They
The
get like
trance?
mirrored. Yeah, they're like in a mirror match, and it's like Leon Edwards does just enough to get by. Obviously, Prates isn't going to look to take him down. If anything, Leon's probably going to look to take him down. But I think Prates is going to force the fire so much that he's going to make Leon trade with him, and that ain't good. I think I'm just surprised at all that Leon even took this fight. I can't believe that he even took this fight.
Yeah.
He probably was looking for like a Colby rematch or something.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I
Usman,
can't.
fourth fight.
I literally cannot believe he accepted this fight. Like, that's so surprising to me. I think Prates is gonna walk through the fire and put Leon Edwards down. I think Leon Edwards. I think he is who he is, and I don't think there's much changing him at this point in his career. So give me Prates by TKO, somewhere past the first round.
Gotcha. Jeannie?
I think we're all pretty much aligned here. I'm also saying Carlos Prates knocks out Leon Edwards in the second round. I think it's not going to be first round. I don't think it was too picture perfect even in his last one, getting that spinning back elbow with a second on the clock right at the
Oh,
buzzer.
yeah.
That was kind of crazy. That was going to the second round, but I think he's going to beat down Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is going to be in a fight he does not like, and this is not going to be decided on the ground. You know, Leon's not going to be shooting takedowns, and Carlos Prates is pretty physical on his takedown defense. Ian Gary was able to take him down a couple times, right? But he was still stopping most of them, and later on in the fight, he started to really deny those takedowns. I see Carlos Prates putting the pause on Leon Edwards, though, putting him down in the second round. And we're getting another brutal knockout victory by Carlos Prates, I think.
Hmm.
But
Brutal indeed.
Prates is like the coolest guy, dude. Like, he's like from like the favelas of Brazil, and he comes out like rapping word for word like Rick Ross raps, and it's
Yeah.
insane to see the way they did that to his last fight was so cool. How he came out and was like
Yeah, I
rapping
like
to the
that.
camera. That was sick, man. I wonder what it'll be this time, but man, I
Was it
think
like Purple Lamborghini, wasn't it?
yeah, something like that. And he's like a guy that speaks like straight Portuguese. I don't know how much English he speaks, but he's like singing that song word for word,
Oh,
bar
yeah.
for bar. I was like, yes. Like next time he's gonna come out with a pack of cigarettes, smoking cigarettes in the crowd. Like,
Honestly,
dude,
I'm shocked they haven't, like, if you've seen that clip of him getting up on, I think it's LFA, getting up on the cage and popping a
chugging.
little sip, yeah, from some
Yeah, yeah,
whiskey.
yeah, yeah.
I'm shocked they haven't done that already. I mean, it's probably hard to get whiskey in there, but come on. You got to let him do it. You let Fat Tai Tuivasa do the shoey 10 times. You got to let him have his smoke
That's the
and a
only
little
reason they
shot.
kept that dude around.
Oh,
Like,
God.
he's made a comeback.
What do
He
you
ain't
mean?
looking.
What do you mean
He's not.
kept?
He's not
He's
looking nearly
number.
as obese.
He is
He's still
the.
ranked.
He is the number 11 ranked UFC heavyweight. That's a fact.
He's lost five in
Sorry,
a
12.
row, and he's
Give
still
me, give me
ranked.
Barnett versus Tuivasa, baby.
Oh God.
For the
Honestly,
top
no.
10
I love that
ranking.
fight. I love that fight, and I think, yeah, he is ranked higher than one of the guys who beat him, and also they kicked out one of the other guys who beat him. Um, anyway, next up, UFC Flyweight Championship on the line: Valentina Shevchenko versus Weili Zhang. It might say that Mackenzie Dern is the UFC strawweight champion. That's not true. It's the Chael Sonnen thing. Weili didn't lose. she's just got tired of winning. Um, well, in this case, she dropped the belt and moved up to flyweight. So this is, even though it's not actually, it's a real honest champ versus champ, deserved. If anybody was gonna do, they were gonna let keep the belt. I'm shocked they didn't let Weili, honestly. Um, but yeah, pick 'em pretty much. Uh, even money. Let's start with Weili Magnum. She is technically the challenger. 36 years old, a little bit older than I had thought. Um, she is coming off a win over Tatiana Suarez in February, so probably took some time off to bulk. 5-fight winning streak, several championship defenses in there. Valentina on the other side, 2-fight winning streak. She got her belt back, then she beat Manon in May. We were there for that actually, Jeannie. She's gonna have an inch of height and 2 inches of reach for bullets. She's 37 years old. So this one is back to Will. Great fight, huh? Who do you have winning?
Oh man, it's a tough fight, man. I really want to go with Wei Lee here. I think that's who I'm gonna go with. I'll start it off with that. I think I'm gonna go with Wei Lee to win. I think she's gonna bring that physicality up, even coming up in weight.
Yeah,
I really want to see how they look against each other, like when they face off. I think that'll tell us a lot. I really, really, really want to see that before I make any ironclad calls. But it feels right, man. I think it feels right for Wei Lee to get that second belt.
yeah,
They're both a little bit older. They're not that different in size. But I thought Valentin was going to be a lot taller. But who knows how honest that is. So I'd really like to see them face off before I make any hard decisions. But yeah, give me Wei by decision here.
yeah.
It just feels right for her to get a second belt. So Shevchenko. She hasn't looked as dominant as she has, the last decade. So that's no knock on her. She's still winning. But
Oh yeah.
man, this is the girl in Wei Lee that can wrestle as well. So let's see let's see where she goes. Let's see how much she can add to her legacy. So yeah, give me Wei Lee here.
Oh yeah. Valentina, I'd say pretty easily, by far the women's flyweight GOAT. Top three all-time women. Yeah.
Not Nico Montano.
Okay. Second in running for the women's flyweight GOAT.
Jeannie probably doesn't
So
even know who that is.
Jeannie, COVID fan. Uh, never forget.
People forget,
Um,
man.
people
We
forget.
do.
Do you know who that is? Do you
Uh,
know who that is?
No
oh
comment.
God.
No
Never forget.
comment.
I forget. I actually forget her name. But
Oh man.
who was the champion who vacated? Um, because was it Nico? Because she was scared to fight Joanna. Um,
It was her, and then Jermaine vacated because she was scared to fight.
Jermaine.
She was scared to
Yeah, yeah,
fight
yeah.
Cyborg.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, I'm gonna look this up. Jeannie, battle of female goats in their divisions. Who you got here?
I've really been trying to find something that's gonna give me like a clear cut. I'm going with this girl. I think I'm gotta go with Wei Lee. I feel like seeing Alexa knock down Valentina, I could see Wei Lee laying some knockdowns in this fight. I don't know about a TKO or anything, but I think Wei Lee's striking is very crisp, and she has a good wrestling pedigree. Is she gonna get Whaley, or is she gonna get Valentina to the mat though? I'm not too sure. Manon was massive compared to Valentina, and she went 1 for 12 on her takedowns as I slept through that fight.
She
But
sucks at wrestling though.
yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think Whaley's gonna win this fight. It's gonna be a close one. Valentina is always subverting my expectations. I'm always expecting
Yeah,
one thing out of her, and she's always still hanging in there. Like I thought Alexa was going to be the one to. After she submitted her, I thought she was going to win the second match, and then nope. I thought she was going to win the trilogy, and then nope. I
that
just have no read on Valentina fights. Usually, they're hard for me. But I thought Manon was going to beat Valentina as well. I
I
think
think
I'm
we all
going to go
picked
with
her.
Zhang Wei Li. This is going to be a close decision. Maybe split. I see Wei Li taking it, though.
I agree. I agree. It kind of sucked to see. That fight was really weird, her versus Fiorot, because you'd expect, um, you kind of expect it to be Valentina would have the edge in the grappling and Manon on the feet, right? But it kind of played out the opposite. Manon had 7 minutes of control time and got outstruck by Valentina on the feet. That was just a weird fight. I think honestly, Fiorot kind of lost that. Valentina didn't win. Fiorot lost. But I think this is Wei Li's fight. I'm not super confident. I think it's going to be pretty close, but I think she's got a little bit more physicality. I think she's got a little bit more power, and I think they're both. Is it weird to say they're both declining a little bit in their age, even though they both look great? But I think Zhang's declining a little bit less, and I think she can take Valentina down. I think she can kind of hit her pattern up. I think she's a little bit. She's not as technical, but I think she has the better boxing. As long as she can watch out for the kicks, I think this is Zhang's fight. Great fight though. Super excited. It's been a while since I've been excited for a women's championship bout, but this one's getting me going. Um, and we'll go to the main event, the fight I've been most excited for since honestly all year. This is the fight I've been most excited for all year. Islam Makhachev, same kind of deal. Lightweight champion vacated coming up to challenge JDM Jack Della Maddalena for the UFC welterweight championship. Makhachev beat Moicano in January and then vacated. Hasn't fought since. JDM beat uh, Bilal on that same card. Valentina beat Menon in May. First title defense, despite being the champion. He's a plus 225 dog, minus 275 for Islam. Uh, Despite coming up, they're going to be pretty similar in height. JDM's going to have 1 inch of height and 3 inches of reach, and he's the younger fighter. I was a little bit surprised. 29 to 34 for Makhachev. So, Jeannie, we'll go to you here to close us out. Are you going with your spiritual? Are you going with your fellow Ginger in JDM, or are you going with one double leg Islam Makhachev?
Now, I think it would be a beautiful story if JDM was able to beat not only Bilal Muhammad, but as Islam Makhachev after Islam had to vacate his belt. And then Ilya
Yeah,
comes up and takes that belt. I think it would be a beautiful story if Islam then loses to JDM. Um, with that being said, I think Islam's going to win this fight. I mean,
you
Jack
think?
Della Maddalena got taken down 7 times by Gilbert Burns, and he was taken down 3 times by Basil Hafez. 3 for 20 is, I mean, that's he stopped 17 of those takedowns. But I just
Basil
think
was on
is
that juice.
Oh,
yeah,
he
for sure.
was.
Yeah, that was a short notice replacement. He was supposed to fight Kevin Holland, I think, originally, and
Yep.
then it was Basil Hafez, and then he ended up fighting Kevin Holland after. But I think Islam's just going to be his grappling's a bit too good. This is the best grappler he's ever fought, and I think Islam sized up. I think he's going to take this one. I think he's going to submit Jack Della Maddalena in the third or fourth round.
Wow, submission. I'm picking Mahashev as well. I'm going by decision though. I think this is gonna be pretty close. Never forget he told Bilal to go out and strike with JDM, Canelo hands, if you remember.
That's because he wanted the
Yeah,
belt.
exactly. I think JDM is going to do better than a lot of people think. He's been working with Craig Jones. He had some phenomenal scrambles, some kind of weird scrambles in the fight against Bilal. And people forget Craig Jones trained Volk, and I think JDM was in that training camp too for Islam last was that February 2024 or so. Yeah, um, and I think he's going to do better. I think it's going to be 48-47 for Makhachev. people might even call robbery. It might be a robbery. Who knows? But this is Islam's fight to lose. Grappling. He's got some power on the feet. Well, I'm going to be interested to see how his technical boxing has improved. He's not going to be the better striker, but I think he can um, win some exchanges. I'll say that. And yeah, we're going to have another Dagestani. Well, I guess champion again, re-champion, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, give me Islam. Will, you're not the kind of guy to take a big swing on JDM, are you?
I'm going with JDM here.
Wow.
Man, I think people have a very uh misinformed totality of that fight with Bilal. People say, "Oh, he struck with him." Yeah, he struck with him, but he also tried to take him down 9 times. Like he
Yeah.
tried to, he tried to. I think Craig Jones is definitely a good thing. I think, man, I think if I think their whole ideology in this fight is if Volk at 145 could have that competitive of a fight in that first fight with Islam, I think they're gonna try to instill all of those grappling and scrambling skills into Jack Della, who's 2 weight classes above. Um, man, I really want to see how the guys face off, but I think it could be very similar to that fight. Jack Della has real stopping power in his hands, and um, we've seen Islam get slept before. I'm not saying he's gonna get slept here, but I think those first couple shots we're gonna know a lot about this fight immediately.
Yeah.
We're in a big cage too, which helps out Jack Della. Give me Jack Della here, man. 4-5 or decision. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Interesting. All right, and we will. That is the UFC 322 card. A few more things, then we'll chat out of here. Regional minute, some MMA and some boxing going down this week. We have LFA 222 Friday the 14th at 9 p.m. UFC Fight Pass in Mashantucket, Connecticut. I had no idea that was a place. Vinicus Perez versus Artem Balak in the main event, Bantamweight Championship on the line. Great fight. Winner's probably going to get signed to the UFC. You got Aileen Pereira, younger sister of Alex Pereira, and you have Joe Giannetti on this card, which,
What a name.
sure, yeah, 2025. Eternal MMA 101, Saturday, 2 a.m., so we're not really going to be watching it. You remember George Mangos from the Contender Series? Lost to our boy, uh, fuck, why am I forgetting his name? Radley De Silva. There we go.
Yeah.
Crazy fight. I was looking at his opponent's name here. He's back. Yeah, that's about it. UAE Warrior 65, Saturday, 11 a.m. Laney Silva, who I believe is the younger sister of UFC fighter Karina Silva, is fighting for their strawweight championship. And yeah, going to be an interesting card. Saturday, 11 a.m. if you want some daytime MMA. KSW 112, Saturday at noon. A few guys, if you know KSW, you know them, but nobody really else. Marcin Held, does that name ring any bells for you too?
Yeah.
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 Shout out. Long time ago he was in the UFC. Cage Warriors 196, Saturday at 1 p.m. UFC Fight Pass. Nick Bagley in the main event for the featherweight championship after Harry Hardwick got signed to the UFC. Giovanni Scott, a few other guys that you would know. Jordan Vucenic, oh, he's back. I didn't realize he got cut from the UFC. Huh, look at that.
He'll be back. He'll be back with the winner too, I think.
Yeah, he's great. Saturday at 2 p.m., Eubank Jr. versus Ben 2. I don't know much about boxing, but I got told that this is well, I
Yeah.
know it's a rematch, but there's some beef with the corners and their dads or something.
Yeah.
So if you like boxing, probably going to watch that. It's on DAZN. I think it's free if you have the subscription. BKFC 84, Dyer versus Hunt 2 going head to head with the UFC Saturday 9 p.m. Josh Dyer versus Lorenzo Hunt rematch in the main event. Nobody else really of note on the card, but I like Lorenzo Hunt. So, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, there is somebody of note. the GOAT, Aspen Ladd, famed boxer, is making her BKFC debut. So
You ready for her?
that's, oh God, that's
Whenever,
happening. I,
whenever she fights, man, it sounds like you're watching tennis in the background.
yeah,
That's
her
what
and
you're gonna
Caitlin
do.
Chukagian.
Tennis.
Yeah.
All right, one
Tennis.
173, Superbon versus Noiri. One's got a great championship card going down in Tokyo, Japan, 11 p.m. Eastern. I think it's on YouTube pay per view. I want to say they have some weird streaming, but they got Superbon versus Masaki Noiri for the uh, kickboxing championship, which is a big fight. Yuya Wakamatsu versus Joshua Pacquiao for the MMA championship. Rafael Lovato Jr. is, if you know grappling, you know him. He's grappling. Superlek and Yuki Oza kickboxing, two great guys. Takeru and Dennis Purich kickboxing. Stamp Fairtex is kickboxing somebody. Jake Peacock, the one arm fighter, is back.
He
Muay Thai. He bangs. Rod Tang's fighting Nang O. Christian Lee is fighting Abeg Razulov. Um, Bunch of championships. All these are championships. Marat Gregorian's kickboxing versus Rukia Ampo. Shamil Erogden, the guy who beat Anwa twice, didn't actually happen. They got Ty Rotolo back, Nabil Anane,
Fixed fight,
Shinya
by the way.
Aoki's fighting. Fixed fight. Shinya Aoki's fighting. Rugru and Malkin was supposed to be on this card. So a ton of names, but all of them are crazy good. This is a nuts. Like if the UFC weren't happening, this card would be better than the UFC's. Um, and then finally we come to the fight card next week: UFC Fight Night Tarukian versus Hooker, UFC Qatar, going down 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Pretty good card, gentlemen. Pretty good. A lot better than some of the regionals they've had. That Qatar oil money's coming in. So you know how we do. Favorite fight on the card besides the main event. I'm gonna go first this time, and I'm gonna guess what you two are gonna say. Do you both have your fights, your favorite fights?
Yep.
Jeannie, do you have yours? All right, Will, you're a little bit easier. You are gonna go Shamrock versus Nurul Aliyev.
You got it. That's exactly what I was going to pick.
Yeah,
I literally have that pulled up on
Jeannie,
my Tapology right now.
Jeannie, you're a little bit tougher, but I think I'm gonna go with for you, Sergey Spivak and Shamil Gaziv.
I
No,
mean, I was being basic. Can I go with the co-main? The co-main was kind of my favorite one.
I'll
I'm gonna
allow
be
it. I'll allow
honest.
it.
Bilal Muhammad
Um,
versus Ian Gary was my favorite. Yeah.
all right.
That could be a
And
shit
I
fight. I'll be honest with you. That could be a shit fight.
could.
That could be
It's
Come
a
on.
Bilal
like,
Muhammad fight, gentlemen.
dude, I think there's a lot of
From
bangers. Like there's questionable fights on here too. Like Jack Hermanson just got slept 4 months ago and he's moving down in weight. Like that's weird. That's weird as hell to me.
it's weird. I kind of
It's
like
it's,
it. The
it's
fight,
bizarre, man.
you know what? Of all these great fights, the fight that I'm most interested in, uh, it's on the
Right.
prelims. Kyoji Horiguchi versus Tagir Ulanbekov. The return of Kyoji.
It's a good fight.
Tagir's looking great. Some other really notable fights. Will, you want to talk briefly why the debut of Shamrock is on this for you?
I think he's a really exciting grappler. He's another character coming out of Liverpool. Um, he's a lot of personality. He has slick grappling. It was really close with this fight with Bogdan Grad and Luke Riley. That's going to be another fun fight, I
Hmm,
think.
great.
Um, our Lord and Savior Rafael Cerquera got another crack at it. Um,
Oh God.
there's two stinky heavyweights, Denzel Freeman and Merrick Bujlo. Uh, there's a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of finishes on this card. That Kyoji Horiguchi is definitely a fight. They got to get him on the main card. I hope this ain't the final. bout order, but he deserves to be on the main card regardless
Yeah,
if
probably.
this is his first fight coming back. But yeah, Shamrock, I think Aliev has a very grapple heavy fight style that will give us a look at how good Shamrock is, but he is nowhere near the finisher that Rock is. So I definitely think he's probably going to be a huge underdog too, because I think a lot of people aren't going to know who he is. But I think after that fight, people will know who Shamrock is.
Love it. All right, well, that's next week's card, and we'll be here to break it down. I hope you enjoyed our UFC 322 preview show. Hope you enjoy the card as well. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Jeannie. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace out.